Uh, we know that there are major 6 opulences that everyone has in this world in a little or more quantity, but that opulences is possessed by God in complete. So those 6 opulences are, what are those 6 opulences? Beauty. One is beauty. 2, power, strength. Yes. 3, knowledge. Very good. Knowledge. 4, fame. Yes. Name, fame. Number 5, renunciation. And number 6, what? Huh? Wealth. Yes. Wealth. Yeah. So these 6 qualities every single living being has in minute quantity or less or more quantities, but God possesses all of them in complete. So the person, but means one who possesses it. The song by a person who possesses all the 6 opulences is the literal meaning of Bhagavad Gita. So it is very, very important. We know that there are 5 different topics are discussed in this Bhagavatam, this book. So within this book, there are certain categories of text, slokas or verses that are very, very definitive, like describing the meaning of the book. Sometimes people may not have the whole time to study and read this book every day. So in order to understand the book in one line, one sloka, people sometimes quote, okay, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Braja. So this is when somebody knows this sloka, it means one knows the whole Bhagavad Gita. And some acharyas, some teachers, out of 700 verses from Bhagavad Gita, they have depicted major 4 primary slokas that knowing which you can understand the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. Those 4 very primary major slokas I'm going to discuss in brief today. And I request all of you to go to the book every single day, turn the book, open and learn one text every day. So in 700 days, you can understand or you can learn whole Bhagavad Gita. But if you are very busy in your life and do not have enough time, then let's discuss about what this Bhagavad Gita is. In these 4 slokas, they are widely known as Chatusloki Gita. Chatus means 4, slokas are texts, Gita means book. And they are coming from chapter 10, Bhagavad Gita chapter 10. I think that chapter itself is the opulence of God, some opulence of the absolute. So, and when we, in these 4 slokas, Krishna has focused on how my devotees knows me and how they love me by understanding my actual position. And when they engage in my service, understanding me in complete knowledge, then how do I reciprocate with them? What do I do for them? These things is explained in this verse. So it is really important to know these 4 slokas if we do not have time to study the whole book. But every single slokas are equally important. They are discussing about different topics and different chapters, but ultimately they want to make us understand that we are not this physical body, we belong to God, we possess all the good qualities that God possesses, and our prime duty is to engage in the loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when we talk about serving the Lord or engaging in devotional service with wholeheartedly, with full of love, then it is not possible if we do not know the person who he is. We cannot love someone we do not know. This is not possible. So in order to know someone, we need to hear about him, we need to associate with him, we need to discuss with him, then we know him more and more. Just like in every relationship, we have so many friends, families, and acquaintances, friends of the friends, and so many far and wide. We may be known to everyone in a big scale, but the most person who know us would be our internal family member, or maybe our mother, who knows us the most, more than anybody else. You may know me as a priest here at the temple, but if I go home, my wife might know more than you know about me, because I spend time with her all the time, and then I cannot hide anything with her because she knows me in reality. So, or sometime that I may not share something I share with her with other normal general friends. So this way, we cannot praise or love God until we know him as our intimate family member knows us. So this is a very important thing that we need to learn. So in this context, Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 from text 8 to 11. Remember, Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text number 8 to 11. You go home tonight. If it is your first day today, you will get a copy, a special gift from our dear Sureshwar Prabhu at the end of the class, and that will really help you uplift your consciousness, and it will open the door more wide to know Krishna more and more. So when we know who God is, and Prabhupada says, every people in the whole world, they have some idea about God. No matter what geographical location you or we may be, but we do have some conception of God, little or more. But if we know how people know God is great, but if we know how God is great, the Prabhupada says that if we know how he is great, then it will be easy for us to know him and to love him and to serve him. So this is what going on here in this slokas, and we will be discussing. And the very first one is that aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartati. Here in this two words are very, very important. Here one says aham sarvasya prabhavo. Everything, including material world and spiritual world, everything comes from me. If you go to India, I'm not sure about in the Western world, many people claim that I am God. Or people go to different demigods and they think that these different demigods are God and they worship them like that. But once we know this definition, then we know who real God is and who is not. So it also helps us to figure out who do we worship to. So he says, aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Everything that animate or inanimate, this spiritual world or material world, every single thing we can possibly think of, the original source is Krishna. Everything comes him. And it does not only come from him. So after that manifest from him, so matta sarvam pravartate, and everything that moves, that keeps going, the system that works, He says it is me that makes it movable. It is me that who run the business in this material world. So when Lord Brahma was ordered to create this universe, after the primary element was created by Krishna, so Brahmaji could see everything was like at a pause, nothing is moving. So in order to make it movable, God enters into this material world as a time, and he controls everything. We have experienced present time, past times, future, all these things. And the same Lord, anything that has a motion, you can imagine, anything that has a motion in this world. All this energy, like we have a light here. So if there was no electricity, this light would not be able to give this energy, electric energy, gravitational energy, force, all these electromagnetic energies, any kind of energies we can possibly think that has a motion, it comes from God. And this is how God controls every single thing that goes on into this material world. And we also have so many thoughts going on in our mind. Our thoughts is moving all the time. So many thoughts comes and goes. Our heart is palpitating, is blood, so that I am able to sit here and talk. So anything that has motion, it is God, Krishna. And he resides within the heart of every single living entity, and he is all pervading personality. So when we know this, and there is no confusion in our life that who God is, there is no difficult to understand about God. And everything comes from him, and he is the one who is the original cause, creative impetus of this whole world manifestation, of this creation. So without presence of God, everything is still, remains still. And so iti matva bhajante mam, iti matva bhajante mam, those who understand me thus, that I am the origin of this world and I am the cause of everything moving in this world. So a person or devotees who have devoted their life and surrender unto him and know about him, they engage in his service. Bhajante means to perform some kind of service to the Lord. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. And those people, they are the most intelligent people. Intelligent people means a person who knows God in factual basis. Not only in belief or knowing him only in the book or having some fear about him or just have some honor and respect and some kind of respect for God. No, they understand that, and then they acquire this highest knowledge possible, and they always think about him in their mind. Buddha bhava saman bitaha. They have feeling for me. Krishna says that they do have very, very internal feeling for me. We have feeling for our near and dear people. When we lack that feeling, then people think, oh, you no longer care about me because you don't have any feeling for me. So that intimate feeling comes when we understand that God is the cause of everything. So that's what Krishna is glorifying his devotees, how they understand or know him. And another second one after that, he explained furthermore. If you know, you can guess what is that. Okay. Second one is, okay, we know that God is the cause of all this world. Everything comes from Him, and He is the cause of all this running business here. Without Him, everything doesn't work. Then He says that mat chitta mat gata prana bodhayanta parasparam. So after that, mat chitta mat gata prana, my devotees thought, the people who know me in this way, their thought is filled with my with me. Their thought is always dwell in me. That's what Krishna says. That in our mind, instead of thinking about politics, instead of thinking about sports, instead of thinking about so many other worldly matters, topics, our mind is filled about Krishna. We start thinking about Him. And when you always think about God in this way, when you know Him more and more, then what is the next step we do? We start performing, we start talking about Him to other people. Kathayantascha mam nityam, tusyanti cha ramanti cha. So when our mind is filled about Krishna, and when we know about Him more and more in detail, like a wife or a mother knows about her husband or son, when we come to that stage of knowing God, then we want to talk about Him with other people. We want to share our realization with other people. This is what we are doing. Whenever we have discussion here, any devotees comes and talks about Krishna, they are not preparing lecture and consulting book and bringing some point from here and there and presenting as a presentation and just to make a nice presentation. It is sharing about our thought about what we have understand, what we have understood, and what we have realized about God. So we want to share with other people. So while doing so, the more we share about God's knowledge to other people, we know ourselves better and better, and Krishna reveal His secret to us. So devotee want to share the realization among all the people. That is why we always take book and go out and distribute to the people. That is the nature of the devotee who realize that they do not want to see the suffering of the people in general. And they do not see the external temporary suffering. They see the real suffering of the soul who is deprived of this transcendental knowledge. And because of the lacking of Krishna consciousness, and people are misidentifying themselves with so many other bodily conception of life, and they are struggling so hard into this material world. So devotees do not want to see that kind of suffering. So we distribute this knowledge so that they can understand who they are. So this is what devotees do for Krishna. In the first stage, Krishna says, my devotees know me, that everything comes from me, and I am the primary cause, creative impetus of this material world. And second, he says that their mind is filled, their mind dwells in me, they always think about me, and then they discuss about me among people, and while doing so, they become really satisfied. Tusyanti ramanti means one is completely content, satisfied within the heart. When we are satisfied, then we do not run out in an outer world to find happiness or some satisfaction. The real satisfaction comes from within. So when we stop this rat race in external world, and focus within and start meditating on the Lord, then the real peace is not possible. Like yogis, Gyanis, other people, they focus on prana. If you go to Himalayas in Haridwar in India, in the high up the Himalayas, they go and focus on prana. Prana moves. They see God through the life air. Sometimes they stop the prana and then try to see God through the life air. Some modern yogis, they do pranayama to remain healthy. They exercise controlling the life airs, and through that process, they want to realize God. But devotees who are present here in our movement, devotees want to meditate by chanting the name of Krishna. It is very easy and very fast process to realize Krishna, because when we take shelter of his own name, and his name are full of potencies, all the potencies that God has been invested in the names of God. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, when we chant this name with the knowledge that he is none different from his name himself, and he is the cause of all causes, then Krishna feel obliged to his devotees. He cannot stay doing something else. Now in rest of the two slokas, we know what Krishna does for those surrendered soul. Ready to hear? Yeah. That's third sloka is Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. What next? Dadati buddhi yogam tam inamam upayanti te. Now in the earlier, the first two, we discussed about what we do for God. Now here this sloka says what God does to us. Tesam thus, like, and sorry, tesam means to those who know me like that. Satata yuktanam, they always engaged in my devotional service all the time. How they serve me, bhajatam, they render some service to me. They chant my name, they hear about me, they discuss about me, they come to the temple, they offer some fruit for me, they bring some fruits. That was the tradition in the ancient time. Whenever people would go to the temple, they would always bring something to the Lord. So that was the exchange of love between the Lord and the devotees. But nowadays, people have lost this kind of culture and tradition because they think that this idol in the altar, how can they be God? They cannot eat anything. But that's not the case. God can feel whatever you come with, and then he loves, he likes so much. It's not like he needs it, but he wants to see how much you love for him. So this is how people would donate or bring something, and then always come with something in hand, not empty-handed, at least with feeling love. We can practice that here in Tucson too. Anytime we come to temple, we can always make a vow that let me take at least one flower, or let me stop by at a Sprout and grab one bag of apple, or let me have like I got my paycheck today. Why not I make something for him today? So, and then you see what happened in your life. Everything will double. I think it is in Bible or wherever it says, giving hand never become empty. So this is all common saying in every culture. So now, when we engage in this way in the loving service of the God, then if we have any problem understanding him, then now God helps us to understand him more. How? Dadami buddhi yogam. I will give you the intelligence to understand me in detail. If we lack some knowledge about God, if we have no complete understanding, then Krishna says, he promised that I will give you knowledge, so by which you will know more and more to me. And then our loving relationship, Krishna Prema, is established in that case. We are almost running out of time. I have one last sloka. I will quickly say that. Now, if God gives us knowledge and still we are unable to understand him, sometimes we are all right. Even if the teacher explains so many times. I was preparing some test and I come across a word cut-off date. And I tried to understand it. I could not understand yet. And I consulted the dictionary, legal dictionary, AI dictionary, this and dictionary, cut-off date. I still do not know about it. If you know, you explain to me. And he says, Tesam evanukampartham. Those who still do not know about me, I will personally become merciful unto them. I personally come within their heart and see it. Tesam eva anukampa means special mercy. I'll grant special kripa, mercy to those who do not know about me. And then I clear their doubt and ignorance, whatever they have in their heart, by the torchlight of knowledge. Aham agyanadam tamaha, whatever agyana, whatever ignorance is piled up in our heart, in our mind, in our intelligence, whatever that intelligence has covered us up, that I will remove everything from the hearts of my devotees. Nasayamya means I will destroy all those ignorance. Bhavasto jnana deepena bhaswata. I will light the knowledge, I will light the light of knowledge into the heart of those devotees. So when we know these things, then there is no question that we cannot love God. And if we have this desire, we definitely want to know more about Him. And when we have this little appetite to know about God, then immediately He jumps and come in our life. And then He encourages us to know about Him. When we know Him, that's all we need to know. It doesn't matter if I do not know biology, chemistry, physics, or any other science, but I know the science of God, then I know everything. This is the goal of life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I hope I helped a little bit in your life to know about Krishna. Any questions? We don't have much time, but we always encourage to ask questions even outside of the class or inside the class. The main thing we need to learn, know, without asking question, then we always remain in the same position. It doesn't matter challenging question or inquisitive question, or it doesn't matter, but we need to ask questions so that we know each other. We have one hand and 1 minute.
We sincerely chant God's name, and that helps us become more intimate with God.
That is exactly what happens when we sincerely chant the name of God. And when we chant the name of God, knowing God in detail, as explained here in this text, that even helps more. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you do not know who he is, he says that I have no love of God yet. I am still alive. I do not have any feeling of separation from Him. So I don't have any love for God. Because we cannot stay away from someone we love. We cannot, we cannot stay away from our family for a long time because we love them. So this intense feeling of separation arises within the heart of devotee who chant Hare Krishna, and that leads us to know Krishna more and more. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. We'll have Arati dancing and singing together.